Interested in how to figure out certain ghosts and phasmophobia with zero evidence and maybe even zero sanity? Well, in this episode of the series, we're going to be going over the Onryo. Let's get into it. One of the first things that I think is very worth noting is that an Onryo is actually an early hunter in Phasmophobia. Most ghosts in Phasmophobia will hunt with a threshold sanity at 50%, but an Onryo will hunt as early as 60% sanity. Now to get into the ghost abilities. The Onryo is a very complex ghost, but at its core, the Onryo is fearful of any source of flame within Phasmophobia. If the Onryo is in 4-meter range of any source of flame, then it'll actually decide to blow out that source of flame instead of hunting. That means that the ghost is going to blow out the flame and it'll actually prevent the hunt from occurring. This means that if the Onryo is in range of a crucifix and a lit flame, then it'll take priority of the flame and it will not eat the crucifix. This gets into our first type of test you could perform to figure out an Onryo. It's going to require a candle and it's going to require a crucifix. Here's a clip that shows you how it works. Before I show you how one of the Onryo tests works, I just want to be able to show you what 4 meters looks like in Phasmophobia. It's the exact radius that a tier 2 crucifix covers here. So if I hold down F on the ground, you can see that little barrier on the outside. That is how much 4 meters is in Phasmophobia, is that circle right there. So I'm on a no evidence run and I'm inside the ghost room. This ghost test is going to require 1 candle and 1 crucifix. Now, I'm going to light this candle up. And if it decides to eat that crucifix while the candle is lit, then I know for a fact it is not an Onryo, because they both cover the same amount of range, 4 meters, and an Onryo will always prioritize the candle before the crucifix. It just ate that crucifix while the candle was lit, which means that we absolutely do not have an Onryo. So what that clip was showing is that it definitely couldn't have been an Onryo because the ghost decided to eat the crucifix before it decided to blow out the candle, which makes it impossible to be an Onryo. Because both the crucifix and the candle would have protected you from an Onryo within 4 meters, and it has to prioritize the candle before it takes the bite of the crucifix. Now, there's a whole other side to the Onryo ability here. Every 3rd flame the Onryo blows out will cause it to attempt to hunt. If it blows out 3 flames, it'll attempt to hunt at absolutely any sanity, even 100%. Now, if you were looking to prevent this hunt again, you would be able to prevent it with another flame or a crucifix. So the other popular type of test to test for an Onryo is to have 3 candles with 1 crucifix in the middle. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Here we are inside of the ghost room. We have 1 crucifix and 3 candles. I'm going to light up these candles. If the ghost blows out all 3 candles, it does not eat the crucifix or decide to hunt, then it is not an Onryo. Also, if the ghost decides to eat the crucifix without blowing out all the candles, it is also not an Onryo. 1 candle blown out, 2 candles blown out, and the 3rd candle is blown out. Now that all 3 candles are blown out, it has a roughly 6-second period to decide to hunt. If it doesn't hunt in 6 seconds, it is not an Onryo. And roughly now is that 6 seconds, and it has not decided to hunt. That means that we don't have an Onryo this round. It has failed the Onryo test. One thing to note about that last Onryo test is that if it blows out all 3 candles and you'd forget that you have your igniter on, your Zippo lighter or your matches or anything with a flame on, and it decides to blow that out, then more than likely your flame ended up preventing it from hunting, and that's why it didn't eat the crucifix. Again, the Onryo is a super complex ghost, and these are some very in-depth ghost tests. Other than the Onryo's fear of flame, there is nothing unique about it. It has normal blinking patterns, and it has normal speed. So really, it requires you to either have an early hunter, or it's going to require to do one of these tests with a crucifix and candles. I hope you found this tutorial useful. Please feel free to like this video and subscribe and follow for more, as I'm going to be continuing this series to help you figure out certain ghosts and phasmophobia with zero evidence, maybe even zero sanity. Until next time, my friends, stay crispy!